Hello everybody and welcome to the Carlton VFL Blue Abroad match report update here. I'm Paul Sebastiani to do it all again for you. Round 3 VFL action from Windy Hill over the weekend. It was our boys at Carlton Reserves doing the job. 14-17, 101 to the Bombers 8 for 52 in what was an interesting game from our point of view. It was a bit of a slow start in the first quarter, but then the boys really settled after quarter time and basically dominated the game from then on in, which was great to see. So they now sit 2-1 and in sixth spot on the VFL ladder with a percentage of 147.6% following two big wins against Brisbane and Essendon, obviously, on Sunday. So a great performance, and Daniel O'Keefe, the head coach of the VFL team, has got the boys humming along now after a disappointing round 1 loss. So riding the wave of momentum coming into round 4 as of next week. And without further ado, as I always do, we'll go through the AFL listed boys to start off with, and we'll start with young Will Setterfield, who's dropped back to the reserves since I think it was he was out sick, obviously earlier in the year, and hasn't been able to fish his way back into the AFL team. So just a quick update on his stats. He was named best to ground on the VFL website, on the score update website. So he had 26 touches, a goal, 6 tackles to go with that as well. Led from the front in the heart of midfield and provided a lot of clearance work and some nice clean ball use going forward too, which was nice to see as well. And he's another one that's gone down there and worked on his craft, his intensity, his endeavour at the football after an icky moment against Richmond in round 1, where he sort of went back with the flight of the ball, and what wasn't the best looking moment for him, and maybe a little bit of confidence has dropped away from his point of view in that regard, but he seems to be getting back into the swing of things, which is good to see. So he was probably, if not one of the best on ground or best midfielder on the ground for Carlton in the reserves. When Nick Newman returned really well, commanded the back line, was sort of used as a sweeper across half back when we set up in our forward half and were attempting to lock the ball inside forward 50. So he played that role really well. And just have a look at the stats. He's had 23 touches in his return, only took the 2 marks, had 2 tackles, 17 kicks and 6 handballs. That's usually his go, a high kick to handball ratio, using that nice left peg of his. Returned without any issues from an injury point of view. That knee looks to have healed up really well, and he was covering the ground fantastically well too. So a big tick for him upon his return. Not too sure. Look, the form that he showed in the win against Essendon is probably enough to win his way into the senior side if they do decide to drop someone like Plowman or potentially Nunes, or if they want to give Stocker a run back in the reserves. He will definitely come into the side, if not this week, then the week after, if he continues to show the form he did. And obviously he's going to be a leader down back for the reserves, being one of those senior heads. So great return from him, but the one that everyone's probably waiting for is to hear how Tom De Koning went. Fantastic in his return at VFL level. He had 13 disposals, 31 hitouts. He took 4 marks as well, kicked a goal in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter to cap off a very good day. Clearly on managed minutes as well, given he's come back from that stress issue in his back. So a big tick upon return for him. And if he is ready to go, if the fitness staff think he's fully fit, he will definitely be coming into the side based on the form he showed in the reserves on the weekend for likely a Levi Casbolt. I'm expecting TDK to come in this week. I think he's an absolute certainty to come in given the form he showed. So that will definitely excite us as fans, and it'll excite the AFL as well to see those big blonde locks going up, those big hands reaching out as well. And it's nice to see him getting on the scoreboard. He kicked 1 goal, 2. Probably could have had 2, to be honest. Missed a set shot from about 45 out on a slight angle, but that's something he'll continue to work on. He's a nice kick, so onwards and upwards for this young fella. He looks like he's ready to tear apart the competition, which is a great thing to see. And Ross Lyon had very good things to say about him on Footy Classified as well. Sam Ramsey continues to churn away. Another 17-game disposal for him. I think it might just be a case now of, I mean, his numbers haven't completely waned away. They've dropped off from probably the first 2 weeks, but he's tracking along really nicely. He'll definitely play senior football this year, I think, if he keeps doing what he's doing. So he had 17 touches, 9 kicks, 8 handballs, 2 tackles as well. Didn't hit the scoreboard today. Didn't hit the scoreboard on the weekend against Essendon, unfortunately, but he looks like he is going to be up and about for a senior gig, maybe within the next sort of month and a half, I would say, if he continues on with what he's doing. So good signs for young Sam Ramsey. Matt Kennedy, I think he came from the ground at half time, I believe. I think he may have been the player that Carlton were looking at to replace Harry Mackay if he didn't get up from what we now know is a bout of gastro. Unfortunately, a 24-hour bug. So he was actually trending as probably one of the better players on the ground, as he usually is down in VFL level. Had 16 touches, and if he had played out a full game, he probably would have got up in that 30 region and probably would have been one of the best players on the ground. So, look, he's going to be a player. He's what I call these 1.5 players that are guns down in the VFL level, and then they just come up into AFL level and they don't just quite cut the mustard from an elite point of view, and it's obviously been seen in his career. You know, he's on a reserve, he's on a rookie contract at the moment from memory, and yeah, I mean he's going to be great for us down in the VFL. He'll come up into the AFL side when he needs to, or if he needs to do a job, and that'll probably be it for him for the rest of the year, I'd say. So positive signs for Matt Kennedy again. Tom Williamson, I think he was the one, he gave away a free kick before the ball had even been bounced. I think it might have been Alec Waterman, the Essendon forward, in the chest, in the guts, and the umpire caught him, unfortunately, and he gave away a goal as soon as, well, prior to the game even starting, which was not great, but responded well. Only had the 16 disposals, 13 kicks, which again is his game. 13 kicks, 3 handballs, big kick to handball ratio, and yeah, defended resolutely. Probably not enough to get back into the senior side. I wouldn't have thought. He's still got a little bit of improvement to go, and yeah, look, good depth to have if the likes of, you know, as I said, Plowman and Stocker and whatnot, and Newman, if they sort of fall away, which I don't think they will. But he's a serviceable replacement to bring in at the moment. But yeah, I would think he's probably a little bit away from getting back into the senior side. As for the rest, Josh Honey, lively, only had the 10 touches, but he did kick 2 goals and took his goals really nicely. So he's trending well. Look, I think he's going to add a bit of X factor to the forward line if he does end up making it into the senior side early this year. And he's a big body too, so he's very, very strong through the hips, and he tackles hard, and he's got a thumping kick on him as well. So he'll continue to ply away his trade at VFL level and keep doing what he's doing, and as long as he keeps hitting the scoreboard, which is obviously what forwards are there to do, then he'll develop nicely. And I think we've got a good little one on our hands here with Josh Honey. So he's one I would say just to keep an eye out for, sort of in the next month or two. But I like what I'm seeing from him. And then we've got Corey Durden, who hasn't been able to win his fair share of the football. Only had the 6 touches, did kick a goal, but he did lay 5 tackles, which is something that, as a small forward, you need to bring to the table week in and week out. And the more you do that, and the more you continue to do that, you will get the reward for effort, so long as you continue to put the pressure on, continue to put the tackle pressure on, because it's a tough game for small forwards. You know, they have ample opportunity to kick goals, but I think it's going to come for this kid. He's got the hunt, he's got the endeavour, he's got the see you next Tuesday in him to I think make it. Now it's just a matter of the footy smarts and him being able to win his own football up in that forward line. So look, good signs for him too. Obviously he was a late pick in the draft last year, so you know, we don't expect him to be a superstar, but as long as he can keep doing his job down at VFL level, he is still coming back from that quad. I think it was only maybe his second or third game back after a injury interrupted pre-season. So yeah, as I said, love his hunt and endeavour on the contest and the pill. So that's a wrap for the AFL listed boys. Ben Crocker, clear standout of the VFL listed boys again. 3 goals, 22 touches, and he is a viable option to pick up in the mid-season draft if we need someone to pick up during that time of the year. So that's a wrap for the VFL report. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at PaulSeb05. Good to do it again. 2-1 for the boys. Hopefully we can do it all again next week in the round 4 game against. Let's have a quick look. We play Footscray down there at Whitten Oval. So that's from midday on Sunday before the big one at 3:20 p.m. from Marvel Stadium. That's a wrap for this one, guys. All the best. And please like, subscribe, and I'll venture to get into the comments and respond to any of your questions. Thank you.